Okay, there we go. Finally, I was having mic issues. I was like, holy moly, there's no sound. So yeah, no, I was saying hi to Rex and that I was going to work on this and then I was going to get some more work done on another piece and then I was going to be taking some breaks. I want to play some Fantasy Star Online too. Try to take some breaks. You know, I want to go knock at it's Fantasy Star Online 2 day. It's PSO 2 day. So there are special quests that allow me to earn some in-game premium credits, which I do like to stock up on that stuff so that I have premium subscription stuff that money for. They do reward you for playing the game, and I do appreciate that a lot. Games that do that, that brings in the free-to-play players, and then their money-making thing is really not the subscription model, but it's all the gotcha. I'll show you guys a little bit. So let me go ahead and join the panel and have I pity the misspelled fool who doesn't join. Oh. One of these days I'll hit the right letter. Oh my goodness, I just cannot type today. All right, and then go. Let's go ahead and pin this. Boop. Boop, I say. I say, boop, son, boop. Gotta get the boop. No, terrible foghorn leghorn. What I do. All terrible, all the time. Oh, no, turn the volume down. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, there we go. That way, open up my phone so that way I can actually chat. I only have the one monitor right now. I used to have two monitors, and I miss having two. But it is what it is. It is what it is. What it is. What it is. Boop 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 boop. Man, finishing up this commission, which I'm going to get my hands on a copy of a couple of digital books here. And it's so funny because I couldn't remember the name of the book last night. I was so tired the time I had called it a day. But I've got to get. I'm going to be getting some stuff for the office. Things set up so that way I can do physical work again in a comfortable environment where I can actually like live stream it. So I'm getting a couple of cheapo webcams, super duper cheap potato cams, but hey, webcams nonetheless. Upgrading my YouTube to premium so I can broadcast in 1080. Upgrading my X so I can broadcast over there, and getting. I'm gonna get my hands on EDGEPUNK from Vasilis Lolos. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to get myself a digital copy. I'm going to talk to him and see if I can just go ahead and just, maybe PayPal him or whatnot, like figure some way to get him the money because I do not want to go through IndieGoGo. I do not want to give them my business, even though I do promote, like Kickstarter and IndieGoGo, I promote them all the time. I promote campaigns on there all the time, but I don't want to give them my money. All right, Kitty. I told you, you are ejected. All right, I heard a boop. And it's Doc Blaylock, the man, the myth, the legend. How are you, good sir?
I want you to know I'm announcing it here for the very first time. I'm recanting all of my statements about about current events. I am now a leftist. I fully
I mean,
embrace.
see, you can't even say it with a straight face.
I can't do April Fools. I can't do it. I can't do it.
That's what we do here, folks. We like to have fun.
Climate change is real. If we don't tax ourselves into poverty, we'll die by next weekend.
That's right. How many times have I mean, dude? They've moved that. They moved that deadline more times than that one guy who had the end of the world, like what, 5 or 6 times during the 20th century.
Oh yeah,
that old man.
Yeah, I have personally lived through at least 5 end of the worlds.
Yeah.
In my lifetime, 5.
There's only one end of the world that matters, and that's the doomsday clock. Because if we do end it, and it's going to be by nuclear annihilation, and even then, that's not even going to be the end. Because guess what? Fallout is just a story.
I'm a Christian, so I believe that the end of the world will go exactly the way God said it will. I've read the book.
Yeah.
I know how it turns out, and I ain't afeared.
Right.
But having said that, the climate change, if you'll remember, on this day during the Obama administration, he said that climate change was our #1 national defense issue. And it was only changed, by the way, from being #1 by the Biden administration that said white supremacy is the #1. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well, I like to say hello to my my boys. I got 2 of my sons out there. Johnny T Rex. This is my eldest.
What's up, Johnny?
Boy right there. Yeah, that's my son Aiden, and then my son James is in the chat as well. They're both watching on.
So I should watch my language. I'm sorry.
Dude, you realize who their dad is, right? They admonish me for my language, and I'm like, that's exactly what you should do.
What are we looking at here, Tank? What are we looking at?
This is all right. So this is a triptych that I'm working on. So this is actually 3 11x17s stuck together for midnight for Devil Flyer.
Okay, all right. So
who is not you?
Who is not, in fact, me?
He says doing good. He's doing good. Yeah, he is.
So now I know this is in the composition phase. I'm aware.
Yeah.
But I couldn't help, though.
No, please.
But notice that Midnight looks a lot like Carmen Sandiego.
It hits, and that has been like the standard joke. And I'm like, you know what? There are worse references.
Is it really someone else said that too?
Yeah.
Well, I only mean in this composition because it's just it's that pareidolia where you see the squirrel's face in the clouds. The human eye sees what it wants to see until told to do otherwise by either reality or art. Damn, that was a pretty good definition. I need to remember I said that.
Right? Wait, what did you say?
So yesterday I was
but here, I'll unhide this layer. So now you can see that I've got my 3 artboards set up with my danger zones. The pink, which is actually red because I've reduced the opacity down.
Right.
And then I've got an orange there that's like, okay, I'm outside of the 10x15 area.
Yep.
But as when this gets framed or if this gets turned into a poster or something like that, because that was one of the ideas that I had while composing this, because like people hire me to make them money. So I do my damnedest to produce a product that will return on their investment.
Yep.
Right. That people will enjoy. And I think a midnight triptych would be a lot of fun. You could sell them as like little mini posters and slap them in tiny frames. Right. Or sell them big and put them in big frames, or have this as one giant collected piece that is like a big landscape, like wall tapestry, or even supersized poster.
You know what
options.
what it runs up against is something that I've personally run up against also, and that is that uh, oddly, comic book dimensions are not necessarily hand in hand with standard fine art sizes.
No.
Like 16 by 20 would be the closest to our 11 by 17s
Hmm.
that are the standard. So uh, I said that to say this. I had someone who bought a couple of my original pages and they went to go have them framed and they discovered, oh, there's no such thing as just a standard cut frame for an 11 by
No.
17. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, one of the two sides of that equation needs to adjust. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering. No, I'm not actively wondering. I have sometimes wondered, uh, would it be better for comic book original art to be done at 16 by 20 and then crop it to fit a comic
Right.
book
And
page?
yeah.
You know,
And that would be that's a valid thing as well. The aspect ratios on comic book pages are weird. Like here's the piece that I'm working on for Tail End Studio. I'm nearly done with this one. Gotta go in and
Mhm.
do some touch ups, little highlights, clean up a little bit. Bionic Bruh
Mhm.
is very very happy, and that makes me happy. I'm
Mhm.
happy when
Mhm.
the client's happy,
Right.
and this is going to be a cover. Um, and I hope it's gonna push some books. Well,
Sure. Sure.
that's the whole idea, and it gives kind of like an insight into what's going on in the story. We've got room up here. Hold on, let me. There we go. So we have room up here for the title and dressing,
Mhm.
and then this area down here. I mean, because you could always repurpose this as a poster as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
But we have room down here, and I'll turn on my guides. Um, boop.
Well, well, do this. Do this, Tank. Click Create New, and for your blank, make it 16 by 20.
Yeah, let me do that real quick.
And then take
So
this and lay it on top of that.
let's see what we got, because this is 11 by 17 at 600 DPI, so
Right.
it's a big picture.
Yeah.
I work at 600 DPI when I'm doing black and white,
Same.
um, because I turn off the aliasing so I know that my lines are true,
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
it's WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and it reduces well, because that's one of the things that I also look. I always keep my thumbnail up because
Yep.
um, that like the fine detail is going to be drowned out, and the structure is what's going to sing.
Right.
So even when like say I'm broadcasting,
Excuse me.
like I'm broadcasting on this. So we were going to do a 16 by 20 as let me do that real quick. So 16 tab 20 tab 600 DPI make oops, nope, that was the wrong thing. And then let's go ahead and make it a white piece of paper.
Now
Yeah, so
drag your
that's
cover
fit,
over and drop it on this.
right? And then let's see here. Let's go ahead and oh my gosh, uh, all these layers. Okay, I'm gonna deselect that bottom layer. So Control C. And we're gonna come over here. We're gonna Control V. Don't take a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing I've got to get done today is the boring stuff um of I've got to get everything all nice and organized. Oh, my screen went blank. You guys still see things?
Yeah.
Okay.
There it comes.
You can see my overdraw a little
Yeah.
bit. So here
Now,
I'm going to
so
grab all
now,
these layers.
yeah. Now we see how much room you have to play
Let's go
with to
ahead
do
and
a full-sized
flatten
standard.
image.
Walk it to Hobby Lobby and get a frame slapped on it.
Right? Yeah, because frames are standardly 4 by 5 aspect ratio.
Yeah. See, there's 16 by 20. I guess there is an 11 by 14. This is standard size.
So that would fit here. So we're going to go ahead and make a new layer. Come on, go. We're going to drop it down there. We're going to go ahead and fill that one in with white. Yep, there we go. Then I'm going to grab the upper layer. We're going to go ahead and say Control T. And we are going to stretch it out. Get it fill. Now, and this is an interesting one because this is something that I can bring up with Bionic Bruh. It is real name. I love internet handles. I mean, you know, Cyberpunk's my thing, but sometimes I would like to be able to remember somebody's real name. All right, we're just gonna stretch this out and see if how do I get this in here while keeping the picture, right? So, oops, too far. Point to the edge. There we go. All right, so nope, that would be covered up by the mat. Inch it up just a little bit here, so that way any important detail not covered by the matte framing. You know, that actually works. I'm going to give him an extra file. Oops, dang it. Fix it up. That's okay. I can fix it. See that little white line over there? White lines running through my mind.
See, there you go. Wakes. Now you can walk in the Hobby Lobby and get it framed.
Right, and you know, this also gives it an additional, because it is such high resolution. All right, let's go ahead and transform this again. Just a little bit. Inch it out. Just to make sure that
now what you do is you get that printed out and get giclées made. You can sell them for a fortune.
Right. So yeah, what I've got to do with this picture is I've got to consolidate all the artwork, and then like what I did here, where I flattened the image, I have to turn that into a multiply layer. So that way, I've got to create another layer folder because I love Clip Studio. You can do that with this.
Yeah. Yep.
The folders within folders. Is go ahead and make a folder for the colorist. Where I've got my masks, so I can mask out all the raindrops. Because that would be a nightmare, and you know I'm an asshole.
No joke.
Doc, I'm an asshole, but even I have my limits.
You know, just saying.
Like I don't have to really grab like all the splatter coming off, like the rain splatter coming off the guys. The colors can easily deal with that, right? That's easy for them. They can have fun with that. But the raindrops themselves, I have to create a masking layer for that.
Sure. But, you know, I kind of, this is something I was thinking about doing myself for the covers of my books was getting 16x20 giclées made. And I was just wondering how to do it. Now, according to the internet, there are standard canvas sizes that are closer than 16x20. There's a 12x18. I've never seen
12x18.
I've never seen a 12x18. I have seen what is it? 14x20. And I've seen 14x18. So maybe as far as what's available here, that's a 9:7 ratio. 10x16 is kind of a 5:8 ratio. And what did you say?
Doc, I'll be right back. I gotta go. I think she wants out of the room. I think that's why she's up.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be right back. You have fun here. You know what? There you go.
I don't have a clue how to do this broadcasting thing. So welcome to Doc's Coffee Shop. This is the podcast that won't rust, bust, collect dust, kink, stink, turn pink, or rattle. It seems a rainy season for 90 days, or your money gladly refunded. If we ain't got it, we'll get it. When we get it, we'll funk it, ram it, jam it, damn it, pack it up, and take it out to your car. Welcome to the show. Pardon me. You know, he gets up to let the dog out. At the same time, I was going to say, hey, if you'll excuse me, I need to go get some more coffee. So now instead, I'm just going to sit here and sip my cold dregs out of the bottom of my cup. Pardon me. So let me ask, chat. I don't know how many people are watching right now, but those of you that collect, oh, good, you're back.
Yeah.
I was going to ask though, seriously, ask the chat. Those of you that collect that you like to maybe even buy original art, would you on a campaign say if there was a standard size Giclée, which is where they print onto a canvas and it looks like an oil painting?
I love those.
Yeah, would you be interested in seeing something like that at a standard size, like a 16 by 20, so that you could then just walk it into Hobby Lobby and get a standard frame, pop it in there for $20 and call it good? Because if you go take your 11 by 17 to Hobby Lobby, Michaels, whatever, to get it framed, you're going to have to pay for a custom frame job, and that's really expensive.
Let's go ahead and make it. I'm going to make another canvas. This one's
I'm going to go warm my coffee up.
All right, yeah, go right ahead. Hey, yo, Aaron, what is up, dude? I did not mean to ignore you out at Immortal Rising. Fantastic stuff, man. Jose Garcia, killing it. So let's see here. We're going to go ahead and what am I going to do with that? You know, I already have that thing in the clipboard, so let's go ahead and paste it onto here. I got so much stuff open right now. I've got Audacity, I've got DaVinci Resolve open, I have OpenShot video editor open, I've got LibreOffice, which is like an Excel, open source version of Excel. Because I do not pay for subscriptions for software. I don't. Either sell me the software or I will find an alternative. And then I've got a bunch of notepads open, 2 different browsers. And my emails, of course, file folders. And then I've also got a game going on in the background. That is the source of the little chef in the corner. Yo, Billy Powermax, what is up? Hail, hail. Gray Cloudy, what's up, dude? Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. So, right now, Doc and I, we're talking about, and this is something that's, this is what we get up to here in the digital bullpen, man. We start talking about sausage making. Sausages! Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? We get to talking about the sausage making and figure out some solutions, man. You know, bringing quality products to folks. All right, let me hide all of these. Didn't want to move that. Oh, not what I want to do. It's ruler frame. Hide the ruler. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna and figure out, like, you know, how do we provide to people quality products, right? Because that's what we're here to do as creators. We're here to provide quality entertainment to people. So so that's what we try to do. Okay, so this is a standard 12 by 18. All right, I'll hurry up and finish compiling that and do that. Of course, that's at 600 DPI, which is twice as much. I mean, that's detail. We go down into the pixels on that. I like this one. I've been a fan of Cobalt. I haven't had a chance to read the book yet, but that's you know, I haven't talked to Bionic Bra about that yet. But I want to finagle as. That's right. He knows all about the sausage.
Billy, I know where you live. Hey, old Billy Power Max, what's up? So yeah, I grabbed a 16 by 20 off the wall, and man, there's a world of difference in the size. So
yeah, look at that. Hold on, let me blow you up.
Oh, what a glare, though, right?
Ah, I love that.
So this is a a very popular local fishing spot, and I went out and painted it, and then it was sold as a commission, but the not a commission, that was sold, and the
Mm-hmm.
person who bought it unfortunately passed away before they could
Oh,
finish the purchase. So I just kept it because I really like that one. But man,
that's a great one. No,
thanks.
I actually want to collaborate with you on on a poster pinup type of deal. Not really. I wouldn't say pinup, but I would definitely say poster. Because I've got the Apex Predator, the Scalpel Zero story coming out in EDGEPUNK Magazine #3,
Hmm.
and that one, the beginning of the first act of that story takes place in the jungle, in the jungles of Panama.
Hmm.
And I think that if I doodled something up, and then we could get you to painterly it, uh,
Or do a
uh
rough sketch of the layout, and then I'll do a canvas painting of that background.
see,
Scan it, send it to you, and then you draw into it.
oh, dude, that would be great. Yeah, yeah, yes,
That would be fun.
yes. All right, we're gonna have to send Pedro out into the jungle to go take photos for me.
Well,
Good luck.
fortunately, my home island that I'm from has you saw Forrest Gump. All the jungle scenes were filmed in my hometown.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
so yeah, got good references already.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool. So, yeah, here,
Yeah,
let me,
back in the day, the old Johnny Weissmuller Tarzan movies were filmed in the same place.
oh,
So
wow.
yeah, because not a lot of people know that the southeastern coast of South Carolina is called the coastal empire / low country. And when you go out on the barrier islands, they're jungles.
Hmm.
They're freaking jungles.
Wow, that's wild. The geology of the United States is this topic which I
Yeah.
really can nerd out on. I mean, when I went to college, I majored in physical sciences. I was
Hmm.
studying to become an oceanographer, and that's where all the earth sciences meet. Right?
Hmm.
Meteorology, geology, chemistry, it all comes to meet, at the waterline. And studying the uh, U.S. geology and oceanography is that's
Oh
a
yeah, bro.
wild
Oh
trip.
yeah. When I was a kid, I used to watch Jacques Cousteau, and I wanted to do that. And my dad goes, because my dad was a jerk. He says, you have to actually learn how to swim to do that. And as a kid, I didn't know how to swim. And I was
Mm.
like, can I just stay on the boat? He goes, what if the boat sinks? I'm like, no. So he destroyed my childhood dream. Of course, then I ended up joining the Navy and I swam anyway. So,
Hey, there you go. Yeah, I gotta hit up my friend. One of my childhood friends that I grew up with. When I joined the army, he was inspired, so he joined the Navy.
mm,
And in the army, we call it going green to gold.
uh-huh,
Right, so he enlisted and then he became an officer,
mm-hmm.
and he worked the flight deck on one of the aircraft carriers.
Yeah,
And
that's a
I know that.
dangerous, that's more dangerous than combat.
No, for real though.
It is.
Um, and I grew up with the guy. He squared away, always good at anything he applied himself.
Yeah,
And
see, I'm the opposite of that. I just suck at everything.
yeah, I mean, he became. I mean, I have a lot of respect for people who go from enlisted to becoming an officer, because that's the hard way. And I think that's the way that you prove yourself. I mean, they make some of the best officers. They also make
Oh,
some of
yeah,
the worst
Maverick
officers.
officers are always the best.
Maverick, that's what they call it.
Yep,
Yes.
yep. You're a Maverick well, if you start enlisted and you make it to NCO and then go officer.
Which he did.
Yeah.
Which he did. He did the whole thing, and he got out. He got out at either he was a senior lieutenant or lieutenant commander, by the time he got out. He did a career. He did like a full 20 years or something like that. And then he was like, "Cool, I'm done. I'm gonna collect my pension and relax with my family out in Utah." I think that's where he lives these days. Yeah, Sam, so funny. I remember when we were kids, he cut himself with a razor by accident because he was emulating his dad and shaving his face.
Oh, ooh, eesh.
Yeah, and he got himself good, man. Like right on the lip.
Did Omer go live?
Oh, is Omer live? Is he streaming on top of me? Just kidding.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to find it to see if he in fact did. Because it's got a message. Let me see. I hate it when fucking YouTube, the things don't show up the way you want them to. Hold on.
Well, and here's the thing, speaking of that, I'm actually going to be creating a new, and I've got to hit people up and ask part of this group. But I'm hitting up a bunch of people who do like to work live. Be like, yo, so I want to add y'all to the digital bullpen. Because as you know, Doc. You know what's really funny? In my head, I said Doc, and my brain said no, that's wrong. And then my mouth was like, I'll do the right thing.
No, he's going live in an hour.
Oh, okay. But
I support all my friends,
Right? No, dude, same. I'm here. Look, I'm your friendly neighborhood force multiplier. I mean, I'm here to help. I'm here to help indie comics supplant mainstream. I love Superman. I love Batman. I love the X-Men and everything, but their time in the sun has come and gone. They had their heyday.
My work, I don't even see it as an alternative to Marvel or DC because it's something entirely different. It's not superheroes. It's not tights and capes.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't have that either. It's just
good stories. That's all it is. And the comic book happens to be a beautiful format that lends itself to that. So I am all about just creating content. Look, if you're out there and you're indie and you want to do superheroes, great. Knock yourself out. You have my support. But if you want to do freaking supernatural, if you want to do noir, horror, mystery, anything in the comic book format, do it. Do it. There's room. There's room at the table for everybody.
No, for real. There's more than enough room for all that stuff to to go on. We're gonna put her in a different pose. There we go.
Don't you swing that fish at me, bitch.
I have fun with this game. It's my little toy. But I did warn everybody that I was going to do a little bit of playing today. Yeah, because it's Phantasy Star Online Day. It's PSO2 Day, so they have special in-game events that I can participate in, and saying hello to each other. Hello. There, we're going to do this really fast so that we can get the epileptics out of the audience.
Yeah. Hello, hey, whoa, ahoy, what's up? Billy Power Max says he is a coastal empire. That may be true. He's a big boy.
hey, no fat shaming yourself. That's our job.
No, not fat, big. He's big boy.
Hey, big boy? Oh,
big
okay.
Boy, big boy.
Okay.
So, I forgot what the hell I was saying.
It's okay.
Oh, I was going to say, but yeah, hit me up about doing a painted background for you.
Yeah, I would love to do like a good collaboration and stuff like that. And you know me, man. I did this commission here to get some stuff for the office, but I mean, and I know that painting ain't cheap. But that's what I was thinking is like maybe if I sketched something up, right, and handed you a bunch of turnarounds and then gave you, because you paint from life, so I could actually hand you photos of of people that Scalpel Zero is based off of. Her
Nope, I'm
looks.
not painting any people.
Aw,
I don't
I
paint
tried.
people. And I'll tell you why. It's not that I can't. Obviously, I draw people. Why can't you paint
Uh-huh.
them? It's not that I can't paint them. It's that my style is impressionism, and it
Right.
does not lend itself well to the kind of gritty realism that comic book art goes for.
But see,
So
that's not what I'm looking for.
they're almost
Looking.
anathema to one another.
I'm actually looking for an impressionist style. Like it doesn't have to have all the detail. Just the shapes have to be there.
Oh, there's Bionic Bro. Well, I mean,
Go.
I'm not opposed to it, Tank. I'm just saying I would much prefer to just do a killer background for you and then
Right.
let you digitally draw the characters into the scene that you want. Um, and I do intend to do
Ooh.
that for the new Pariah book.
Now I have. Now see. Now you've inspired me to an idea. But before I get to that, let me go ahead and let the Bionic Bruh know what we're doing here. We are up to shenanigans, is what we're up to. So Doc and I were playing with like. So here's the original piece. See, there's a slight difference. Now I'm doing some touch ups, highlighting some stuff. I'm going to highlight some damage, add some more blood splatter, fix the blood on the knives. I don't like it. Um, I was going to go look up some Dale Keown type stuff. I like his blood splatter, and I was going to see, kind of like what's the machination behind that. Kind of wiggle that in there. But Doc and I were talking about standard canvas sizes and aspect ratios and stuff like that. This is your 4x5 aspect ratio, and this one is your. This is 4x6, so 2x3, right? And we were looking at that as far as, I mean, using this picture as an example. So I'll send you these files too, just so you can have them. High res, no loss file formats, and so that way, because we were looking at merchandise. What do people want? What would look good up on a wall? You know, and and fun stuff like that. Feel me? Yeah. Oh, thank you, and I appreciate that you like it. That makes me happy. This we want to move books because I have heard. Now, granted, I haven't read it because the last few on my finances, but everything's changing on that. But yeah, I did want to talk to you too. I was like, I know we've already we've already finalized the price on this, but I was like, I was thinking like, hey, can you throw in a digital copy of the book for me? I want to read it. Because I was like, yeah, no, this is great. I'm gonna buy a couple of digital books. I'm gonna get my hands on the new Punk. I want that. I want that bad because that's my jam. I love that heavy metal 2000 AD underground comics type stuff. And then I want to get my hands on Lost Pages too because I read the first one. I absolutely loved it, and I want to get the second one. I want to have. I love it. I love that stuff, dude. Uh, and I wish some other creators who will remain nameless that refuse to go digital, um, that they would have digital stuff because, like, for real, man, digital's inexpensive, and that's my budget. I have too many children, and so I don't have $25 to spend on a book. No, that's too much. $35. Awesome, awesome, dude. I see. I love that. Hold on one second. Let me navigate back over here because I'm looking at the. Yeah, no, dude. Yep.
I'm back.
Unfortunately, yeah, dude. But here's the thing, right? I couldn't back out of a driveway with a ground guide and a camera. All right, my pullout
Wait,
game is that weak.
what happened? What? What the hell did I just walk into?
We're talking about my 50 children.
Check, please.
My 50 kids and the fact that my pullout game is so weak I couldn't get out of a driveway with a ground guide and a camera.
Oh Lord. Yeah. I had to have that talk with my testicles and go, would you guys please stop making sperm? Please. Let's go ahead.
We don't know, for real.
Let's go ahead and get through menopause so I can just, I don't even know if that's a real thing. So I can
It's
just
not.
Damn it.
No, a healthy male will remain
Yeah, I know.
viable until the end.
Yep. I kid you not, when I was a counselor, I had a 72-year-old man who was coming because he had got caught cheating on his wife. As in having relations.
Yep.
And I remember thinking, dude, I hope at 72 I'm still virile enough to even want to do that.
Yeah. No, yeah, for real. I mean, I'm recently I'm getting back into call it exercising. I've got my background. I've got my backyard project rolling up. That's coming together nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Late last year, I had a semi-dead. It had revitalized itself, but an ash tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't know, and my neighbor didn't know, that ashes can clone themselves from themselves. So the original tree died, but it was cloning itself from the trunk, from the central trunk. So the trunk, viable wood.
Yeah.
Well, it got
ash is good hardwood also.
It is. So some of the wood is rotten, which is going to be great for the summer bonfires and stuff like that. Some of the wood is really good. So I've got a couple of trunk-like branches that I've started stripping and trimming down, and I'm going to put those. I'm going to set those up in my backyard, wrap them up in like 3 layers of hemp rope, and then I've got my Makawara posts, my Okinawan punching bags, which is fantastic. There's a big cross section of the trunk. I've got a buddy who's going to be coming over with a big chainsaw. We're going to cut some slabs out of it, and we've got some other viable wood. So we're going to turn that into some natural bordered. We're going to cut the slabs out, and then we're going to epoxy it. And we got some nice little coffee tables. I'm going to sell them off or give them away. See how it goes. And then the rest. I mean, I do want to get. I found this one where I can get. It's a nice thick branch, about 10, maybe 11 inches in diameter.
All right.
And I want the heartwood from that to make a boken. I want to get a boken from that.
I made my boken out of the last one that I had, which it lasted for over 20 years. It was solid mahogany. And I hand carved it. And you know how hard mahogany is.
Yeah.
So it took me forever to do it. But I'm here to tell you, Jack, I wouldn't have cared had you come at me with a full-on Damascus steel sword. I would have whooped your ass with that piece of mahogany. It was that hard.
For real, though.
It would block your shit easily and brain your bucket. Yeah, it was good. And I honestly don't even know what happened to it. It didn't make it, obviously, to the new house here from where I lived previously. But, what are you going to do? Shit just disappears. But you know,
Yeah, no, I
I'm
feel
with
that.
I'm with John Panette though. I don't do ups. All right. I don't do push ups. I don't do sit ups, pull ups, any of that stuff, because gravity's a law, and I obey the law. So I do downs. I do chow down, lay down, sit down, put on some good music. I'll boogie down, but I don't do ups.
That's great. Yeah, so I've got the time lapse. That's another thing I love about Clip Studio here, that you can export time lapse if you set it up in advance. Yeah, so for the process, I've got a buddy of mine who is going to be going through his library of what do you call it, soundtracky type stuff.
Uh-huh.
And so he's putting something together.
You mean that shit they call music?
Yep.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. He's gonna be he's putting together something for me so that way I can upload this over on my other channel, Tank Parts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm going to be uploading all my long form content, or my short form content. So this channel, it's going to be live all the time, nothing but live. The other channel is going to be all my uploads, my shorts, and all the stuff like that.
That's too much work for me. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I've also got my gaming channel, and I really want to get back to it. I've just hadn't.
That's
had the
way
time.
too much work. Way too much work. Way too much.
Yeah, and that one I've got Scalpel 21, aka the Blackjack, versus Skyrim, over 2,000 mods. So I have a cyberpunk character duking out in a fantasy world, which that's fun. But yeah, here you can see, like, I had to redo the details because I kept like, yep, see, redid the straps there. Because I was like, nope, I got the detail wrong. So I went and, Bionic Bra provided me some decent reference art for this. Although I always have to say, and I'm gonna wag my finger at everybody out there, including myself, so I'm not exempt. Turnarounds. You're gonna have other people working on your stuff. Turnarounds, style guides, and whatnot. And I've got to do that for myself for Scalpel 0 and Scalpel 21 and the bad guys and the robots and all that fun stuff. Because eventually I'm not going to be drawing all that story. Uh-oh. Doc was eaten by wildebeests. Uh-oh. Eaten by the wildebeests. They got him. F in the chat. For Doc. Silence. That's good enough. I think his internet did a hiccup. Either that or he got the wrong size hammer. I mean, that happens. That happens. Yeah, here, like, yeah, I got that all kind of messed up over there. I got the anatomy wrong, so I had to go ahead and redo that. Let me bring him back. Welcome back, Doc. He's loading in. There we go. Did your internet get the best of you?
I will never understand StreamYard. It's saying your Wi-Fi signal is weak, having trouble connecting. I'm streaming via Wi-Fi. I am hardwired. The modem's right here. What the fuck are you talking about, StreamYard?
Oh, yeah. So, it was just your internet signal was weak, but StreamYard probably assumed.
Signal strength is high as hell.
Oh, weird.
StreamYard is just a bitch.
It's much like the all the indie comics we know and love. It's an independent production.
Yeah,
dude, that is cool. And we got to do a little shill spot for you.
No,
We do.
no, we don't. No, we don't. What I
Yeah.
would like to see, Tank, is just don't knock yourself out for it. I would love to see your take on a noir scene with Jake Bishop. And I don't care what it is. Just
Send me some reference.
Just like, dude, detective in a trench coat and a fedora. Come on.
Yeah. But like facial features, like I get into the particulars.
He does have some particulars. I'll send you some reference images, but the standouts are after the book I'm working on right now, which is Pariah, Sanctum of Hate. He's going to forever after that. He has a scar on his left hand that's just this black blob on the front and back of his hand, and it changes shapes, and it, it's but it's a mystery how he gets that. I'm not going to reveal it, and I'm not going to reveal its significance until after this book. But because of my doctors putting me on light duty, don't do any drawing, repetitive motion stuff, up to and including typing. So I'm having to use talk to text. I'm just writing right now.
Okay.
And so I'm well into chapter 3 on the next Jake Bishop novel called The Long Way Down. And it's good. Oh, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah, look at all the tons of revisions that go into this, because, when somebody hits me up and says like, hey, this is going to be used to whatever purpose it is. Cool. Well, let's make sure that the composition is right. Let's make everything is on brand. Because my background's in commercial art, like graphic design. And that's
excuse me. Sorry.
Your excuse. That's where my background is. And yeah. By the way, bro, dude, yeah, same. I got to get you up here. I'm working on bringing out a once a week show where
love to.
I've got people on and I interview them and we talk about things in the past they've worked on, what they're working on right now, what they've got planned for the future, get little meet and greet, little insight and whatnot.
So my allergies are getting me. I put the link to Damn Dirty Thing in the private chat, Tank. Not to shield. Let's don't look at the rewards, but if you just wanted to watch the video and look at some of the art to kind of get an idea.
Yeah, give me a second.
That's why I shared it.
Yeah.
Pardon.
Give me a second here because I'm going to do the evil thing. Pardon me. My turn. All right, we are waiting because I am going to steal your video and add it to my rotation of ads. And speaking of ads, you know what? While we're doing that, let's watch a quick ad.
All right.
Let's
do it.
I'm gonna pop a trailer. Do it. Come on, do it.
Do it.
All right, here we go. I just had to go there. Here we go. We'll watch the short one.
Bionic Bro gave me a coughing fit from laughing. Drop your link, brother. I'll be happy to follow you. So I follow Doc, but it's not reciprocated. Unfollowed. Invite retracted. Hands washed. SJW feelings taking over. Gotta go complain on X and slip my wrists.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Yeah, the price points are pretty hefty. And I see what he's doing. He's using it as a point of investment because he really just wants to have a little bit of extra leeway, so that way he can bring out some stuff at market prices. Because Vasilis has a background. I didn't know the guy until I saw the trailer for EDGEPUNK. Like YouTube recommended me the trailer, and I was like, "Yo, what's this?" And I'm gonna grab. I don't have it here right now, but I'm gonna go grab it from a live stream. My initial reaction, because you know me, Doc. I love indie comics.
Yep.
I love the Rising Stars, and that's what I thought this was at first. And then as I watched it, I'm pausing the trailer, I'm rewinding a little bit so I can get to the one spot where I can actually see the artwork. I was like, wait a minute, this guy actually knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, holy moly, this is a high level of skill here. Like, look at this and look at that. Look at this right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, where you? How did you get past me? How did I sleep on this? And
excuse me, golly.
No, it's all right, man.
He was on with wasn't he on with Lori Calcaterra last week? No, he was on with he was on. You don't know who Lori Calcaterra is? Path of the Pale Rider. She's on like issue 12 of her book, and
oh wow,
she is cranking them out. She's done 12 books to my 2, and
oh wow,
she always funds, consistently and quickly, high quality product. In her world, death is broken, and so basically you've got a zombie apocalypse with people who, like, if you just died this morning, Tank, you don't look any different than you did before you died. Decay is still happening, and you'll eventually turn into a rotted zombie walking around, but you're still cognizant.
wow.
And it's a weird world because that applies to everything. Nothing will die.
Wants me to download their spyware. I've been having a hard time finding a new source for acquiring videos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, wow. It's only going to let me do whatever.
But Bionic Bro, I went the other way. My price points on a Damn Dirty Thing, Anthony and I did the math on it to get the price points as low as we could without going into debt to print.
Right.
So my floppy is only $7, and the novella that's 116 pages, I think, is only $9. So I kept it as cheap as I could.
So Doc, this is the point where I redid, like I created some masks because I wanted to create like a city background. You can see there. And I redid this like so many times.
I keep seeing that, yeah.
So many different ways. But I think that's important for the whole conversation of building a picture, like getting the composition right. Then I got smart about it. And I created a masking layer so I could get a little bit lazier.
It's not lazier, smarter.
Yeah,
smarter, not harder.
And I kind of worked it in, and I was like, okay, cool. I set up a whole bunch of infrastructure behind the scenes. And I started doing this, and I was like, no, it's not coming out straight. So then I set up the proper infrastructure so that way, because, the guys in front, they're organic, right?
Yes.
And that background, it needed to be static as hell. Like I did consider doing like a perspective shot, but I was like, perspective shot in the rain, I mean, maybe a little bit too extra. That may be a little too extra.
My shortcut that I use for doing the city skylines like that is if the black background is black, I just use the white line tool and then break
Right.
it up with a black line tool.
Yep, there you go.
Now, I'll grant you that doing it by hand individually the way you're doing has a much more organic look to it.
Right. Well, I wanted to have that lived-in feel, even though that, like, all of those, like,
Right.
that's the same. Like, it was very, what do you call it? Systematic, the way I did it. Like, it was all measured, it was ruled, and there's specific brush sizes to make sure that everything is parallel and perpendicular as it needs to be. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for a 75-page book, not including shipping, that's, yeah. No, I dig that, yeah. No, and I dig, and the thing is that, and I've been meaning to have a conversation with him on this because he comes from a different world, right? He comes from the world of professional, high-end commercial art.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that he quite understands just how much in the slums of the art world he is with indie comics.
Yeah.
Like,
this
sorry,
ain't even
but
the
you're
slums,
not gonna.
buddy. You're in the ghetto now.
Yeah, and I get it. It was like, and yeah, no, I want to get myself. I'm gonna get the digital version of that. Because like, no, I can't. I could not. I'm not a collector, right? And that's. Yeah. No, and I totally dig it. I totally dig where you're coming from, and that's a valid metric, right? That is a valid metric.
I agree. I agree.
The books, the physical books that I buy these days, which I just talked with all my neighbors and whatnot, so I gotta go pay attention to Alterna, and because we're like the whole neighborhood and all the parents, we're like, yeah, no, we got to get some more Alterna bundles because we get them for that way the grown-ups got something to read, the kids got something to read, the books are
Your
cheap.
neighbors read comics?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. No, I got them to. I see what I originally did was I got them to get the Alterna bundles for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
At first, and then they were taking a look at the books they got for the kids, and they were like, "Oh, dude, like these are really good." And I was like, "Yeah, no, they're legit. They're legit comics." And they're like, they looked at the cover price, and they're like, "Dude, this is such a deal." And I'm like, "Yes, this is inexpensive comics. They're printed on cheap ass paper, and
I like cheap paper,
point, dude." They're floppies that you fold up and put in your back pocket.
Yeah, I don't use the cheap paper, but I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would totally support campaigns going back to newsprint.
Unfortunately, the price of newsprint.
I know.
Yeah. The price for newsprint and whatnot. Hey, Doc, I gotta go into Dadland for a minute.
You better stop it.
I know. I'm gonna make you big if you want. Do you want to be big?
Sure.
You want to show off some of your artwork?
No.
Yeah.
Bionic Bro, I totally followed you back, subscribed over on the YouTube. Let me turn this off because nobody wants to see that.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, buddy. But yeah, I had no idea that dude's book was that expensive. Almost $300 for a 75-page book? Hell no. Yeah, I like the newsprint, and it's weird that it's now the expensive media, but that's all that is supply and demand, because when comics started going from newsprint to what we call classic white paper in the late 80s, early 90s, the demand for the newsprint went down. With the demise of newspapers, they don't make as much of it anymore. So it's not that it's more expensive to make. It's still cheaper to make. They just don't make as much of it. But I mean, think about it. You know, those of you that are old enough to remember the Silver Age, when you get your comic book, they didn't come bagged and boarded. You just got your comic book and you stored them in a box flat. And after a while, they got that wonderful smell to them. It's like, that wonderful newsprint and ink smell. It was just awesome. He always does this to me right when I need to go and refill my coffee. That's unsatisfactory. I wonder if this thing works. There's a new feature back here. Absolutely right. Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. There's a new feature on StreamYard that's a share screen shortcut, because normally you have to tell StreamYard 5 different times that you're trying to share something. That's crazy. Yeah, I agree, Bionic. I would totally do it in a heartbeat if I could afford it, but that would have made my price point go up. So we went with just nice rag quality paper, and I always do prestige format, because if you do that stapled spine with modern comic books, they bow in the middle. You know what I'm talking about? And I hate that. I hate that bowing. It's like my original old comics didn't do that. They laid flat. So I do prestige format. I got one right here. Hold on. I don't want that one. Yeah, this is the Jim O'Reilly cover. So, first book was Pariah Blood and Mud. And if you look, it lays completely flat because of the perfect bind. Oop, upside down. Plus, you can print on the spine, which I like. Uh, but even this one's 32 or 36 pages. I forget. But even with the Jake Bishop 22 page, I still use the same format. Oh, yeah, baby. Well, here's one thing I'll tell you, Bionic. I promise you'll never see me live streaming looking at urinal. That'll never happen. I know. I've got my clean clothes that I haven't folded laying in the chair back there, and that's always. But this is my wife's revenge. So I'll leave my clothes in the dryer and think, all right, as long as no one needs to use it, I'll just go in there when I want something to wear, turn it on for a few minutes, warm it up, knock the wrinkles out, boom, clean clothes, right? No ironing, no folding. No, she can't have that. She's got to empty it out. Here's your clothes. Well, just damn it. They can just fucking sit there till I wear them. I'll get a handle on that whole laundry thing one of these days. As an adult, there's certain things that are never done. Laundry is never done. It just is. The trash can in the kitchen will always be full. Always. You pull the bag, you tie it, you take it out, you throw it in the can, you come back in, the can's full. The carpet is never vacuumed. It's just in need of vacuuming. Always. Have to wear the clothes, or it'd be like staring at the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, I'm not saying I run around naked. I'm saying I don't fold them and put them away. Fuck all that. I'm retired, so I don't have to wear my professional clothing anymore. No more polos and khakis or suits. So I don't have to worry about, oh, they might get wrinkled. Who gives a shit? I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. I've got a suit in the closet uh, that is in plastic for funerals and weddings. That's it. That's it. Hell, I don't even know if I still have the dress shoes to go with that suit. I need to. I need to make sure. My poor coffee is cold. Damn you, Tank. So, look, if you're in the chat and you're watching, because I have no idea how many people are tuned in right now, I'm not able to see it. I was serious about the whole Gickley thing, doing the faux art print onto a canvas that you could walk in and you could just get it framed at Hobby Lobby. Doing those on the next campaign. I wonder how many people would be interested in something like that.
What are you talking about?
Oh, thank God you're back. Get me off the screen, will you?
Hey, thank you for holding down the fort. Normally, I take a break about once every hour for about 10 minutes or so, 8 to 10 minutes. The kids had finished all of their assignments for the day. Today's a workbook day, right? So they're writing in their workbooks. They're doing their math sheets. They're doing the repetitive, part of the learning today.
Right.
And so they wanted to know if they could, and they got their chores done. So they wanted to know if they could take their turns on the television, the Xbox, or the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, hey, I was like, work hard, play hard. If you've finished, and I only give them an hour. Right, I only give them an hour, because I try to limit the electronic stimulation. Right. I try to keep them grounded in the real world. My middle son has been growing through the whole winter. He has been he has like a little nursery, a little garden nursery, taking up the majority of the laundry area at this point. I had come up with a new area for the laundry for the laundry to go.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
And so he's got this one potato plant that's over 3 feet tall. Like, it's huge. I know. I'm a monster. But we have family television time later, right? We have the agreed upon, the pick a movie or pick an audio book and sit down and draw, write.
It's good stuff, Tank.
I try, man.
It's been a good dad.
I try. Oh, dang it. I forgot my coffee. That is the sin of all sins.
Well, you trapped me here when I was just about to go warm mine up. So
hey, go warm yours up.
I was going to say, before you run off to get yours, I'm going to go get mine. I'll be right back.
Go get yours. Go get your coffee. I got the fort. And I've got to add a media asset anyways. So I'm going to add this clip, and then later I'm going to have to get from Doc high resolution. I'm gonna have to get a high resolution. All I've got is like low res, because right now don't want to put in the software. I haven't found a good open source acquisition software, and outside of doing it the hard way for acquiring these videos and audio, that requires me to finagle some stuff. Like right now, I'm using Voice Meter Potato, which is great because that allows me to isolate my audio channels and stuff like that, so I can actually record stuff for later use. But let's check out this. Oh, that is the wrong one. Why did it download that? That is so weird. That right there will get me a copyright claim. And I don't want to do that because that means I have to edit that out of the video later. So, what? Um, so. Oh, okay, because I downloaded the wrong. That was a previous one. No, no, no.
All right, I'm back. Thanks for allowing me the time to warm my coffee up.
Oh yeah. So, Doc, maybe I can send you a link to a Google Drive or something like that. You can send me the full high resolution version of your trailer. I'm gonna set that up anyways. I'm gonna share that out so that
You're
people can.
assuming I know where in the hell that trailer is.
Dang it! You're gonna make me rip it the hard way.
Nah, just share screen and play it. Fuck it.
Yeah, son, I'll show you that one later. It was for the 40th anniversary of Gundam and 45th anniversary of Hello Kitty because they shared the same birthday, my birthday, the 29th of March.
Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. And
sorry I missed it.
yeah, that's right. that's hey man, don't kink shame me.
I have to say I'm not commenting on that. Moving right along.
Yeah, all I've got are because I've got to go grab these. It's okay, I can do that. I can grab these the hard way. But the best resolution I can get is 1080, which is fine. That's good enough. That's not just good.
It's my art.
That's
1080 is more than good enough for my art. Come on.
Right. All right. So let's check this out. Let's see if this plays right properly. All right, there we go. There we go.
That worked.
Yeah.
That worked just fine. So
Good,
that's
good.
Currently funding, boys and girls, over on a damn dirty thing over on Fund My Comic.
Yeah. See, and that's another thing about.
I was just going to say, Bonnie Bro says facial features on point, except for the first image of Jake Bishop was wrong, and I fixed it later in the actual print, the one that went to print. His nose is turned up like he's got a pug, like he's a pug bulldog. I'm like, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. What the hell was I thinking? So I redrew it and fixed it. So
No, I dig that, and that's why, like, tomorrow when I come, I'm going to be back tomorrow with the digital bullpen as well because I've got some work time laid out where I'm not going to be half stuck in dad land because tomorrow is another workbook day. Where we are going through.
Are you going to stream over me tomorrow?
No, I'll join you if you want.
Yeah, I'll drop my link. Tomorrow, tune into the coffee shop here on YouTube. Just look up my name, Doc Blaylock, on YouTube. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We just have some laughs and some conversation, share some memes and roast modern culture, and just have a good time. My co-host, I have two co-hosts, the great Tanner Hurley and the amazing Kitty Phillips of Flip City. Tanner's out this week sick, so it'll just be Kitty and I. So thank you, are certainly welcome.
I would love to come by and join. Yeah, Kitty wanted to know what was up with something else. See, no, that's
what?
Sorry. Oh, now I'm trailing off in my mind brain. It doesn't work right. Why are you doing that? You're not supposed to be active. There we go. This is what I did this last Saturday on the studio with the Dawn. We had special guest Dan Pinotion.
Mm-hmm.
of Extreme Studios fame, and so I did a couple of profit pictures. Now this was the sketch that I did, and then I did this other one as I'm loading it up. This was my warm up, where I just kind of like went at it with a rough brush and.
That's some Romito right there, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, I had fun. Just kind of. You can see I was just blocking in shapes and whatnot, and then I got that, and Dan was like, "Oh, that's cool, that's cool." Then I the heck? Oh, there we go. And then I did this one. He was like, "Wait a minute, you just did that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And this one, it's got a little bit of influence from Panosian and Fraga and Stephen Platt. Which, hey, happy birthday, Mr. Platt! Happy birthday! Today is Platt's birthday.
Yeah, he went into illustration versus comic book art these days, and
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I was around working in comics when Platt first showed up.
Yeah.
And I hated him. I hated his art. We used to joke and call it a pizza with everything on it because of all the tick marks and shell casings and whatever.
That's why all the shell casings are in here.
Yeah. And
even though it's obviously an energy weapon,
yeah,
put all the shell casings there because that was funny.
Yeah. But having said that, I respect the guy as an artist. That was during the rise of, we used to call it the Captain Bloody Death Night Shadow Man. Because everything had to have one of those words in the name of the book. And it wasn't superheroes being superheroes. It was guys with muscles carrying big guns. And, it was like, we didn't call it the Bronze Age. We called it, there was the Golden Age, the Silver Age, and the Dark Age. And we said, we're entering the Dark Age of comics where, the really beautiful art is not the thing. Now it's all blah, 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 whatever. But I say that, and in hindsight, I look, and the good did far outweigh the bad in the 90s.
Yeah, no, it's the heck is it? Oh, yeah. I was like, what is this file named? That's not right. That was the inside album cover for a band called Grandpa's Nuts. It's a whole bunch of old studio musicians who got together and did a prog rock album. Yeah, but it's not late enough in the day to be showing off that kind of artwork. We're going to show Cloudy Doohickey. You know what? Like that title right there.
That would work.
Like for real, it does. It does. A cursed Cloudy Doohickey.
It would work.
Because that right now, just that title. All right, color me interested. What the heck's going on here? What kind of shenanigans are you really up to?
Yep. So here's I'm almost embarrassed to admit this. I'm a huge fan of noir, obviously, and I do noir. I write noir. But the most famous noir writer of all time is Raymond Chandler. And other than watching the movie The Big Sleep with Humphrey Bogart, I never read a Chandler story. And I thought, that's a damn shame, I guess, because I'm being compared to him. And I thought, well, maybe I should read him. And I didn't have to, because no shit in my suggestions popped up. Audiobook, the complete Chandler, what's his Philip Marlowe series. And so I was like, all right, cool. So I started listening to them, and they're good. I mean, the dude is really, really good, and they still stand up today. And the big difference I notice is that he is a lot more dialogue focused and less immersive. I like to really paint pictures with words when I'm writing a novel. So yeah, but colored me impressed. But now, Tank, I have to not finish listening to them because I'm writing right now, and I don't want influence. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that
Right.
subliminal influence to creep in anywhere.
Yeah, because that's you run the risk of as we like to say in the comic book world, biting or slicing uh, off of somebody else's work, and you don't want
Yeah.
that. You it's
No.
like when Coldplay disappeared from the world and actually went out to a cabin in the woods to produce an album, and whereas it's one of their, I'm not a Coldplay fan myself, but it was one of their worst performing albums sales wise. But artistically, it was the most original work they had ever done.
Right.
And
Yeah, I think even being influenced by something too much is a bad thing.
yeah, no,
In
I
other
can dig
words,
that.
I mean, think about this. All right, let's use Kiss for an example. They're just a heavy hard rock band, and then disco starts becoming popular, so they cut the album Dynasty. That's I Was Made for Loving You, Sure Know Something. You know, it's disco,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody hated it, even though that was their biggest hit
Right.
commercially. It hurt their brand though for a couple of years. They brought it back with Creatures of the Night. Look it up. Were really their two heaviest albums. Uh, I mean, hell, they're metal. They're not even hard rock. They're metal. But
Yeah.
that's a cautionary tale about being influenced by what's going on around you instead of just being creative.
Yeah. Well, you get caught grifting. You get caught grifting,
Yeah.
and that it, as uncouth
Well,
as it
I don't
may
know.
seem.
Grifting is if you don't deliver.
Well, no, grifting is just riding the wave, right?
Okay, all right, fair
Grifting
enough.
can be a good thing. Um, no, it can because you're playing into market expectations,
Yeah, I ain't
right?
going there.
But
That ain't
I mean,
me, pal.
no, and I totally dig that. I totally dig that. I'm not on the grift myself. Um, I'm not big on it, but there's a huge misconception when it comes to the grift, right? And it can be a bad thing, and often it is because usually it's disingenuous, and that's the bad thing of the grift. It's like, oh, you're not doing it because it's like you're creative. You're doing it because trying to do a cash grab, and or a popularity grab,
Yeah.
or something of the sort.
Meanwhile, my shit is throwing back to a time 80 years ago. So I'm not riding a current wave.
Right. And sometimes you just have to time your creativity with the grift, like the rise in popularity of westerns. And I'm like, yo, grab that. If you've got a western story, now is the time to release. Right now
See,
is the time.
now you're touching on a nerve with me because it's
Yeah.
like, I've got my Jake Bishop IP and the whole world that he lives in, and it's well established. I've already done one book. I'm working on the second one. Uh, I want to be the first to rekindle that. I don't want someone else to come along and steal that thunder, and then it looks like I'm riding those coattails. I don't want that to happen.
Right. Yeah.
I,
No. And
I need Jake Bishop to become the next big thing.
and I absolutely, I absolutely dig that. I really do.
Yeah, I want to like. I'm gonna try the legit route of getting an agent and getting marketed to publishers, traditional
Mm-hmm.
publishers,
Smart.
with the new book. But I won't hesitate to pull the trigger on crowdfunding because there's a large part of me that really loves this small indie community that we all roll around in, and these are my people.
Well, I mean, that's why, like with Scalpel Zero, I'm finally getting it off the ground. I finally have the wherewithal and the means to go ahead and just get this. As I like to joke, it's the most delayed book in all of crowdfunding, and I haven't even run a crowdfunder for it.
Well, then it's not. It's not the most elite. As a matter of fact, my good friend and publisher Anthony Romano, I think, holds that title with Hunting Alice. We've been hunting Alice for 4 years now.
Right.
I can personally attest to the fact that it's approaching the finish line because I'm helping with the breakdowns. I'm being a force multiplier, Tank.
Good. Good. As you well know, I'm a fan of that, of being a force multiplier.
Yeah.
Because I am your friendly neighborhood force multiplier. Whenever somebody thanks me for something like me promoting them or something, I'm like, dude, I'm just your friendly neighborhood force
Yeah. Yeah.
multiplier.
Yeah. I just had someone hit me up and they said, they want to know what would I charge for a cover. And it was funny to me that my first thought was not, a normal cover price. It was my first book. Two wonderful artists freely gave me covers, alternate covers, Jim O'Reilly and Luke Stone. So
Oh, I love
who am
Jim,
I to
man.
not pay that forward? I said, no charge, pal. None.
Oh
I,
yeah,
I got you. I got you. We'll get together. We'll hash out what you want. And I'll do the best I can, even though I'm not supposed to be drawing at all. Uh, I will make an exception.
well, later, Doc. I would love to talk to you about the regiment your doctors got you on, because
About
I've
what
got
now?
over regiment your doctors got you on as far as physical therapy, because I have over 30 years experience in sports, and my kung
Well,
fu is strong.
yeah, I mean, I got a degree in medicine, so what?
Oh, you do? Okay.
Doc is not just a nickname.
Hey, that's really cool.
No, I was an IDC corpsman in the Navy, but basically it's
Right.
just a repetitive motion injury, and the
Yeah.
only cure for it is just give it time to fully heal. Because
Yeah.
I'll wait a day and then I start drawing hardcore again, and it's not fully healed, and so you re-injure.
Yeah.
So I got a referral from my doc to an ortho, and it was basically you're going to have to give yourself a good 6 to 7 weeks to fully
Yeah.
heal, or you're just going to keep
Now,
re-injuring.
are you doing range of motion?
Yep,
Good.
range of motion, anti-inflammatories, hot
Good.
packs, all that good
Good.
stuff.
Good. Good.
The problem is almost every little thing until it gets better hurts. Like you notice,
Yeah.
I'm not even grabbing my mouse
No,
because
and that's
that
the okay.
hurts.
Good. You're on the right path.
Yeah, I'm
Because
smoking
yeah,
with my
like I
left hand.
said,
Come
I mean, like I said, I've spent over 30 years in martial arts, and I'm just not, I've gone the real route on martial arts, not just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do some kung fu or whatever nonsense that they do. Um, I have gone the route of that the old masters did when they retired from teaching martial arts. They became ear, nose, and throat doctors,
on.
right?
Mhm.
Your friendly neighborhood. Oh, you have a minor issue? Well, here I got a solution for you.
Yeah, yeah. I for decades I have been the what's the word? The back alley go to
Mm-hmm.
for a little treatment. An IDC corpsman, for those that don't know, they're the reason nurse practitioners and PAs exist.
Yep.
Um, because basically they do everything a doctor does except open cavity surgeries. Um, and yeah, so I would get the knock on the door. Somebody's cut themselves. They need suturing. Uh,
Right.
I may or may not have participated in helping heal them. Shh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I do remember though one that flew all over me when I was actually on active duty.
Yeah.
A family member was complaining about a knee pain. Would I look at it? So I did a complete knee exam, the same one I would do in my office. And I said, okay, here's
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. I think it was condyle patellae. Here's what you need to do for it, blah, 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 blah. And the whole family was, oh, thank you so much. The next day, they go see a doctor about it. And I'm offended, but I let it ride. But I
Yeah.
said, what'd he tell you? Well, exactly what you said. Well, no shit. Now let me tell you why. That doctor might see that one knee complaint once a week. I see 20 of those a day,
Right.
every day. Hello?
Here, let's save this. There we go. I think that's much better now. Lines kind of helps. They had too much negative space.
Yeah, that works.
Fun character to draw, man. Really fun character. The guy's really fun to hang out with too.
Who's this?
The creator. I keep forgetting it. I'm terrible with names. But
is
the
it
creator,
Rex?
he comes in and he hangs out with. He's started to come hang out with us on Saturdays on the studio.
It's Rex, isn't it?
No.
I'm kidding. I'm
But
kidding.
he does have 100,000 characters. Oh yeah. No, I'm gonna avoid that latest comment. I'm trying to be nice. Really trying hard to be nice right now. Yeah, no, I've noticed that you've been working on that for a hot minute. Oh my gosh. Give me 1 second while I go.
What happened?
I'm gonna go eat one of my children. I'll be right back.
Okay. It's a frightening world Tank lives in. Like, I'm retired, so when I'm back here working in my studio, the house is peaceful and quiet. There's no distractions. I couldn't imagine my children being, school age, running around the house while I'm trying to work. It would drive me crazy.
All right. Yeah, no, nobody caught Belmont. Uh-oh.
Caught him doing what?
I don't know. What was Belmont doing?
Damn it. Don't tell me my lighter just died. Start looking for that one lighter that might have one spark left in it. Yay.
Oh. See what you did there. Yeah, no, dude. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. That's a subject for a different stream. Not for this one though. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no. Oh my goodness gracious.
All right. What am I looking at here? Where'd you go? Hello?
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry. That was my youngest one wanted to make a sacrifice of the tiny bit of ice cream that's left in the freezer. And her brother was not letting her, and I was like, "Look, dude, you do not have the authority to to countermand my orders."
I don't remember putting you in charge of the freezer.
Hey, she ate her. I made some peas for the kids, and I made some peas for the kids, and they had some grilled cheese sandwiches. So we've got our protein, we've got our vitamins,
Vitamins.
We don't often have sweets in the house.
Mm.
So, and she was like, and she's my little carbaholic. And I'm like, dude, you ate your protein. That makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
The tunnel vision. Who's got the tunnel vision? I have the tunnel vision.
Yes, because you vanished.
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
And I'm out here like, help! He left me.
Yeah, dude. Oh shoot. Is Omer live? Did he go live?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you know
what? We should
what?
go over there.
Let's go over there and give him a hard time.
Listen.
No, but seriously, I want to thank everybody here for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, dude, anytime. That's why when I'm doing when we're in the office, I always try to drop that. I'm gonna go get this done here in a little bit. I know I intended to do that, but I got caught up in other things. But it
right.
is what it is, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Remember, everybody out there in TV land, go subscribe to Playlock. Go check out Damn Dirty Thing and on the Fun My Comics. And make sure you hit that like button. And make sure you hit that dislike button. Leave a comment and tell me what kind of trash I am. Share this out on social media, telling others what trash I am. And make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss an opportunity to tell me what kind of trash I am. And remember, everybody, if you can't be good, at least be good at it.
Peace.